Let everyone get a second. Excuse the mess behind me. But yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we did just get um, kicked out of YouTube Live because they said that I was violating community standards. Apparently, cleaning guns is against community standards. I don't know. It said the community has reported you against our guidelines, and we have stopped the stream. So we won't clean guns today because apparently that's not okay. So what I do have some cool information, some cool toys to talk about. Um, yeah, Big Brother was watching. Yeah. For the person who was watching that reported me against the community guidelines, yeah, 6 people. Yeah, 6 people. One of y'all, we need to talk. Hey, Kami. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but we just got kicked off of YouTube Live because we were cleaning guns. So, yeah, really fixing the big problems out there. Anyways, so I do have my Knight's Armament upper that I'm going to do another video on talking about running it in full auto, which is cool. But this is probably the coolest thing that I have to talk about right now. For those of you who don't know, this is the Minifix by Q. Really cool gun. Super excited to do a video on it. I do have a Honey Badger, which I will be comparing it to as far as sound levels. Obviously, this is going to win, but we will see how that goes. All of Q stuff is really cool. I mean, obviously, I just got the Honey Badger because it's cool. But yeah. Call me. It seems like you're a celebrity in here. But anyways, so super excited to do the minifix video. Also excited to show you guys another rifle I've been doing. Shot one of those down in Gorda. Yeah, I bet. I mean, so I only have like 50 rounds of subs, which I'm gonna have to ration out because obviously I like shooting my Honey Badger too. But I'm really excited to get some sound comparisons. I don't have like an actual audio level, like audio metering device, but I definitely think that it's going to be substantially quieter than my Honey Badger, obviously. So it is a Trash Panda versus the Honey Badger SD suppressor. One second, I'll grab those. So, be right back. One second. So obviously the Honey Badger SD suppressor was meant for the Honey Badger SD, and it was meant to go in the handguard. So it's sort of limited on space when it was made. But one thing that I think that will be interesting to compare the two, the Honey Badger SD is longer versus the Trash Panda is wider. So I'm not sure if the additional baffles will make a bigger difference than diameter. I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see how that performs. So kind of neat. Pretty excited. They are both insanely light guns, but anyways. So what's new with the world? Burning down, oh yeah, the shooting deal, right. All of a sudden laws are going to do something right now. Yeah. I don't know if anything is going to actually happen. I mean, it's like the government moves very slow anyways, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pull anything together as far as gun reform or, making laws more strict. So, am I worried about it? No. No. I'm not too worried about it. I think it's funny that I got kicked off of YouTube for cleaning a gun. It's kind of ironic, because I definitely know that there are a lot worse things that are live streamed and kept. For example, the freaking shooting. I literally saw the video of the shooting on live stream, but yet somehow I'm public enemy number one. But oh well. Yeah. I hope Texas can still remain Texas. I know some people like, for example, Kami, if you're still in the chat, you live in more of the liberal parts. But luckily, Texas is still somewhat of Texas. Yeah. I don't really get it. Like you all said, like obviously my channel is really small, so Kami, you can go ahead and report. That thing is locked up. It's unsafe. I don't feel like getting up and getting it out, so you're gonna have to report. Hat is fake. Hat is fake. I got this at a Goodwill store. It's like a Patagonia. It's like a discount Patagonia brand, I've heard. So yeah. But anyways, so if you are watching the stream and you did report, I'm sorry. I apologize for offending you. I'm sorry that you can't find a Knight's Armament 11.5 Mod 2. Everything is going to be okay. You don't have to report me. But yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Josh. So I've had the hardest time with this pin in my Knight's Armament. So it is the retainer pin. So there's like something wrong with it. Every time I try to put it back in, it just doesn't work. Doesn't work. I'll figure it out. Kami, how is Axel going? How is the employment with Axel going? Can you get me a space belt? I need one of those. Oh gosh, you guys are really gonna bully me into getting the M110 out. First you tell me to bring the 6.5 down to Dallas. Bring it down. Everyone oogles at it, and now you're bullying me to bring out the M110. Top secret. Okay, redacted. The stream. Go ahead and report this stream so it gets deleted too. Anyways, but I will say the law folder is kind of a pain as far as disassembling the gun. It's just one of those things you kind of have to understand how it works. But I will say when I'm needing to break down a rifle, it's just one additional step because you have to get this little plug in there. So, yo, what's up? What's up? Dunk the M110 in water. I don't have a big. I don't even think my bathtub is big enough. So yeah. But anyways, I do like the law folder. I'm gonna hold up this. Just a Ray. Hold on. Just a prelude. Do not report this. I'm gonna hold this up because I'm gonna talk about this thing, this big scary thing. So right here, law folder. I have two things right here that are kind of cool. I wanted to build into like the hype beast culture behind forward controls. It's cool. I don't think it's like, the end all be all. It's neat. But anyway, so this is the forward controls sling plate, and this is the forward controls castle nut. This is probably one of the coolest things I've done so far. I don't know if it'll focus, but it is the A5 buffer tube. So what the A5 buffer tube is it's basically just longer. So it's like a rifle tube, and it just has a rifle buffer in it versus a carbine buffer. This one is actually it's an H3 with a blue Sprinko. Really nice. Like I said, I was having a lot of issues with the Knight's Arm at lower on full auto. It was really weird because I would get hammer follow, which is basically where the hammer is not properly resetting and it's basically hitting the primer prematurely, which is kind of scary, but fixing the spring and fixing the buffer actually helped it run a lot better. So, oh, Freddy, were you not in here? Kami, bully Freddy into not being here when I was showing the Q stuff. This is it. I had this goofy bipod from the M110. I actually did pull out the M110 just to take off the bipod, but so nobody report. I'm going to change the camera to where it points at the gun. Nobody report. I'm watching you, Freddy. Is it focused? Okay. So I do have the aim point on here, which is kind of a meme because it's like a bolt gun with an aim point. But at the same time, this gun is so like niche because it's a 300 blackout with like a 5-inch barrel. And I see a lot of guys just put a freaking put like a freaking scope on it. And it's a 300 blackout. So, but yes, I do have a maul on it for the memes, for the flex. But I do have the pistol brace. So ATF, if you're watching, I'm not holding the gun like this, I promise. So, yeah. Anyways. If you weren't in here when I was talking about the Q suppressors, I'm sorry if that was really loud. So obviously I do have the Honey Badger SD. So I have the Honey Badger SD suppressor right here. And then I have the Trash Panda, obviously. Let me catch up with the Soy Jack. What is this Soy Jack meme? Someone cue me in on the Soy Jack meme. I really don't know what that means. Josh, my Gen 2 tubes. Get out of here, Josh. Somebody report Josh. But anyways, so I'm going to do a comparison between these two suppressors. It's not really going to be a scientific comparison because obviously it's on a semi-automatic platform versus a bolt gun. Bolt gun is probably going to be the clear winner, but at the same time, I'd be interested to see if length matters. They always tell me that length doesn't matter, right? It's the girth that matters, right? So the Honey Badger SD suppressor is obviously pretty big compared to the SD, but the SD is like 2 or 3 inches longer. I think it's like 2 baffles longer. So yeah, we'll see if length does matter. So, anyways. I have to catch up with all of you and your comments. Jacob DM'd me to tell me to drill the third hole. Don't listen to anything Jacob is saying. Yeah, it was probably Freddy. PS5 giveaway. Yeah, we don't play PS5 here. I'm sorry. This is the wrong stream if you want a PS5. Knight's guns. Dude, I got banned for showing a Knight's gun. People are so mad that they can't get a Knight's gun. But they reported me, apparently. So we'll leave the Knight's guns up. We'll just leave the plentiful available Q stuff. So one thing that I will say is I'm interested because I have a few options for suppressing the Knight's gun because I can't find a Knight's Arm suppressor. They're unobtainium. I really want to either put my OSS, which is cringe, or I want to put my trash panda on it. Kami pronounces cack as cock. Yes. I don't really like saying cack because I feel like I'm saying cock. So, yeah, I just say knights like a normal person. Knights. That way you can't be confused. But yeah, I do want to suppress the 6.5. I want to see how it'll do. But I really don't want to use my OSS. I really don't really like that suppressor. But it fits the build as far as the M110. Trash Panda is a really good can. Insanely light, has good suppression. I will say that what people say about titanium suppressors that have a spark, that is really true. I noticed, like, literally the first shot that I shot out of the Honey Badger, it was like I was shooting dragon's breath. It shot out and it like blew sparks everywhere. I thought I was gonna start a grass fire, because I was in my backyard. Yes, the 6.5 SR25 also in the safe right next to the M110. I don't want to get them out because all the way over there and they're heavy and I can't lift. Glad your life doesn't depend on one. So, interesting story. Yeah, we were in a class with a Knight's Armament rifle and the Mod 2 gas system literally unscrewed. It literally came unscrewed. How are you going to fix that? Not good. So, anyways. Let me fix the camera back. I'll bring it back up. So, right there. Reviews on those. So, I'm working on it. My problem, just as it was with the 300 Blackout, ammo is just so expensive. I want to show you guys and shoot for you and talk about shooting, but I can't really say, like, it shoots well, but I only shot 5 rounds because it's $20. So, but yes, I am working on a 6.5 review. I have a bolt gun that I'm going to be comparing it to. Like I said, it's going to be apples and oranges. Obviously, comparing a bolt gun to a semi-automatic gun is not really fair, but whatever. Let's see. What are y'all doing? Cole, play nice. Derek, I am working on it. Josh, your budget blaster, get out of here. Talking to me about Gen 2 tubes. Get out of here with your budget blaster. Yeah. Anyways, so I am working on a video on the Q fix. I will be putting out a new video on, I guess I can just tell y'all. Cobalt Rifles has the Banff Pro, which is actually pretty cool. Finishing out a video on the Cobalt Kinetics rifle. That should go on next Friday. And then right after that will be the mini fix. So really excited. Like I said, I only have 50 rounds of 300 black subs, so we'll burn them all down. I know, poor Thomas. Tell Cole in the chat to send me his DTNVSs for review, and I'll keep them as hostage, and I'll never give them back because they're freaking awesome. Dude, Kami, I'm gonna report. Can I report you for bullying? How do you report? Anyways, so other than that, I really don't know. Oh, speaking of, since my actual advanced rep is in here, 1 second. Okay. You used to bully reloaders for being poor. Now I wish I was a reloader. I know, exactly. Everyone made fun of them for like, hey, you're going to get your brass. But now everyone wishes they stockpiled on primers now. 308 or 6.5, I will say I would pick 6.5 every day. There really isn't any advantage of getting 308, especially with modern advantages. So, anyways, I have to appease my Axel rep in here. So this is the OG Nod's Nest. So this was made by a buddy, and it's a brilliant idea. Super cool. I did a video on it. If you're in the chat and you do have night vision, I would definitely say check out what's called the Nod's Nest, but I'll get to that here in a second. So basically the concept is to use your helmet to protect your night vision. Super cool idea. So that was like in December. So my good boy Kami over here, my Axle rep. So this is actually the Axle Advanced. They made their own Nod's Nest. They didn't make their own. They licensed it from the original creator of the Nod's Nest. But it's slightly reformed. Really cool, and it's made so much better. Not that there's anything wrong with the Nod's Nest. I'm not talking any crap on the Nod's Nest, but Axel took the design and took it from like a 7 all the way to a 10. So really cool. I would definitely say that if you do have night vision, this is definitely the way to do it. I mean, look at that. Like, you can either stow it in a Pelican, which is super bulky, and you have to get a huge Pelican for a helmet, and you also have to get a Pelican for your night vision. But right here, you can unbuckle it, and your Portanas are stored safely in there, so no one can steal your poverty night vision and then give it right back because it's trash. So, Axle Advance, thank you for the Nod's Nest, and that is going to be a review after the mini fix. So, really excited to get to work on that. Let's see. What are y'all talking about? From Guns N' Roses? Yes. Yes, Axel from Guns N' Roses is my favorite. Cole, actually do buy panos, and then buy your panos, and then I'll come up and rob you. So I'll take those for our video. Gouda or Havarti? I'm honestly not even rich enough to even pronounce that word correctly, so I'm gonna have to say Gouda. I'm just slumming it over here with cheddar. But excellent question. So for those of you who don't know, Ray is actually a professional chef by trade. He specializes in cooking various wiener types. Actually, my favorite wiener chef I've ever had. Lead time on them. Oh man. Radian rifle. I don't have any personal experience, but I haven't heard anything bad about them. They are definitely in as far as being a cool rifle, but I have no personal experience. Grill review. I should have brought my camera and did a grill review on next time. Next time I will. Thank you, Grant. Not even gonna address that comment. Clone content. So actually, that's a good question. I am still doing clone content. I do like clones, but it gets boring chasing after the oldest, crappiest thing out there. Like, for example, on my 416, pause. This magnifier for this 416 was so hard to find, and it's garbage. It's so trash. This whole deal, like this whole build, everyone says like the 416 is so cool. It is very cool. I love the 416, never getting rid of it, but it is not good. It is not good. You can get so much better. You can get 3 good guns for this gun. This gun was made to be configured like it was in like 2008 or 2006. Rifles have came so far in the past literally 5 years. So, but I am doing clone content. I have some stuff I want to put out on my Mark 12 Recce. I do want to touch on the 416 again, especially since I have a select fire lower. I want to show you guys how it runs. So yeah, I am doing clone content to address that question. Plans for content on this channel. So thankfully I do have a good partnership with Underground Ordnance, which they're super cool. You should check out their website. They have a lot of cool toys coming in. They have some really cool toys that they're going to let me do reviews on. So they are basically, my plans as far as, reviews and products and things like that. They're a good avenue for cool stuff. So if you guys want cool stuff, you want to spend some money, go over to Underground Ordnance. They can spend your money professionally. Gonna be having a Clone Correct 240. Yes. So yes, hopefully Hopefully we'll have a 240. Hopefully I can even afford the 308 to feed the thing. So let's see. WMX is a Lumen powerhouse. So I used to bully Alex so much because he was like the last person on the clone train, and he had that WMX was like $400, and it had like 5 lumens, no joke. I'm like, dude, that's the frustrating thing about cloning, is you're paying a premium for old stuff because it was correct for that period, which I mean, I bit the bug and, I liked it for a little bit, but at the same time, I had a realization that, it could be spent better. And modern stuff is really cool. I love innovation, so we'll see. The only clone part you need is a sear. Yes, so fun fact, actually, the sear in that rifle right there is Colt, so McClone. Your doctor said 416 suck. Yes, right in the books, 416 suck. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the gas blowback on the suppressor. Like, it's insane. Obviously, that's supposed to happen, but obviously, okay, so one of the benefits of having a piston gun is that it's cleaner, it has no blowback. Look at that. Look at that. It's disgusting. If you shoot it suppressed, like my friend Chris Kosick, he calls it the Treblinka effect, because it's literally like you're in a gas chamber. Shooting stuff in your eyes is not fun. So yeah, there is a thin line between cloner and full basement dwelling LARPer. Yes. I was never one of those guys that, bought a multicam JPC and got like full multicam cry and field gear and, had the, I have a laugh when I think of the times that I saw people comment, what is the clone correct marker for my mags? I'm like, you're literally hung up on getting the clone correct marker for your magazines. I'm like, dude, they don't ask questions. Like, if you gave a seal of freaking a chalk pen or whatever, he's going to just write his number on the magazine and get rid of it because it's a freaking marker, dude. So, whatever. Sears is a cool place. Didn't Sears go out of business, by the way? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I will say, cloning is cool. The new stuff in the military is awesome, but obviously I can't get it. So I would really love to have one of the Barrett rifles, the new MRADs, but they're really hard to get, so oh well. It's very expensive for worse gear. But it's just one of those deals. It's a hobby. Everyone needs a hobby, and I mean, it's cool. I liked it, but it's whatever. I mean, I still love. So, for example, Freddie, we went out to the clone shoot together. I still love those guys. I still love the clone community, but it's not my main interest right now. I definitely think that I more prefer like the innovative civilian stuff. So, is Kami literally trying to sell me stuff in the chat? Can someone? He's soliciting in my chat. Get out of here, Kami. Yeah, I mean, I would like to do an MRAD. I really think that 300 Norma is an awesome round. I would love to have an MRAD in 300 Norma. Yeah, I mean, a Mark 18 is relevant. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not saying it's irrelevant. The Riz 2 is still one of my favorite rails. The Riz 2 is, like, to this day, like, one of the most solid rails out there. So, yeah. The 417 cop photo, yes. Yeah, we did have some cops visit us because they thought we were, shooting machine guns, which even if we were, it's none of his business. But yes, there was a cop that asked us to see our stamps. No, I'm not showing you a stamp. But yes, a cop did get a picture with my gun, unfortunately. Cole, Adidas tracksuits and vodka. Yes. Emphasis on the vodka. You bring the tracksuits, I'll bring the vodka. Stoli. Only. Touching your Friday night. Heard you use select fire weapons on an animal. Maybe. Actually, I can actually bring that up real quick. 1 second. Stand by with me. We're gonna try to bring up this. Everyone probably saw it, but some full autos were used on some pigs, allegedly. And that was a lot of fun. Hopped out of the Sequoia. My man Cole here mowed him down, and I had to give the obligatory burst real quick. How do I access that? 1 second. Wait, let me check. So favorite rig at the moment. I don't know, dude. Honestly, this might be my favorite at the moment, but I just don't have the ammo to afford to shoot it a lot. But the absolute favorite is obviously this one, just because machine gun. But I don't know, man. I love all my all my guns. You can't give me a gun and me say like I don't like it, unless it's the Chris Vector. Chris Vector is bad. I don't like that at all. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Let me pull up this video. Mankoya. If you think the Riz is solid, you need to try a wedge lock. So yeah, I mean, I think the wedge lock is super cool. I would love to get a Hodge wedge lock. But unfortunately, I'm not an influencer or famous, or I don't have freaking NASA internet, so I can't get any Hodge stuff. Unfortunately. Alright, so I found the clip. We're going to try to get it on the screen. 1 second. If this plays and it's really loud, I'm sorry. I'll adjust the volume. I'm going to show you guys the unedited video. Exclusive content. This is exclusive. 1 second. Let's look. Let's look at the comments. Frenchman says, show us the chip. What is the chip? I don't know what the chip is. Should I know what the chip is? Let me bring over this screen. And we lit up a pig. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And Texas is so flat. That is literally, that is my part of Texas. Texas is actually a lot prettier than it looks right there. But, oh well. No audio. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Everything should be back. I switched sources and I don't have my microphone configured, so unfortunately. Audio cut out. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Um, yes, the first burst was my man Cole in the comments. He clearly, obviously hit it, and then yeah, I had to mow it down after that. Um, did I film this with my Sony? No, no. Filmed it with Cole's Sinex Aurora. Pretty cool. Um, lost all audio. Thank you. I appreciate literally everyone saying no audio. I'm sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. But anyways, so yes, that was my Friday night. We ended up staying up all night, and I got out there at 8 p.m. and I think we called it quits at like 7:30. So that was insane. Um, so Texas is not turning into California. It is in just large metroplexes. But if you leave the metroplex, the liberal mindset starts to fade away, and you start hearing people think with reason and thought, and it gets less chaotic. That being said, I do love the metroplex. There's a lot of really cool things to do in the metroplexes, but I'm very glad that I live in the middle of BFE, as they say. Um, adequate amount of ammo to have personally and to train with. So those are two different answers. So adequate ammo to have would probably be infinity. So as much as you can afford to keep on hand. To train with, I would say you should probably have about 1,000 or between 1,000 and 2,000 rounds on hand of training ammo. Um, and that's just on hand at the moment. So, say for example, back when I was in college, I was pretty poor. I loved to shoot, but I didn't have the financials to do it, and I would just buy as much as I would shoot that day. It's kind of a pain because either you start shooting and you have to go home early because you shot too fast in the beginning or whatever. But it's much better to have a surplus and to just go home with extra ammo in your bag. So that's why a lot of times I just buy in bulk now. Thank goodness I can afford it now because back then I couldn't. But I would definitely say that it's better to have more than you're shooting. Obviously, you need a surplus at home. Especially in climates like this today. You don't know what's going to happen. Ammo has been really hard to get for the past year, and it would be better for you to just have the ammo and to not worry about it. I mean, yeah, it is changing rapidly. I agree. But you have to think that. So, say for example, Joe Rogan. So, Joe Rogan was one of the big names that came to Texas. So, I would still consider him a liberal, but you have to see him start to lead a lot of these blue minded people into thinking with reason and thinking with thought. Um, and he's a very influential person that moved to Texas. So I do think that yes, there are a lot of liberal people moving to Texas, and yes, it is not good, but at the same time, there are people who are understanding the Texas mindset and understanding, why our state happens to be better than the other ones. So I personally don't believe it will go blue um, anytime soon. It's getting close, but anytime soon. Um, let's see. Running on the SR25. So SR25, it really doesn't have many attachments. I do have a 5 to 25 Night Force ATAC-R on it. It has a Trimmer 3 reticle. Really, that's the only thing on it. I would love to have one of the QDC suppressors, but I don't. But I do have that Night Force ATAC-R. Super cool optic. Let's see. Frenchman, the good beginner gun. So, good beginner gun is a tough question nowadays, just because the availability on things is sporadic, and the availability for good things is insane because you're going to pay markup. But anything made by, like, say, for example, Aero Precision is a good AR-15. So, it really depends on what type of gun you want. But as far as AR-15, I'd say Aero Precision is good, BCM is good, Daniel Defense, things like that. So, I don't know. We can talk later about picking you out a good gun. I know plenty of ways to spend your money. Ammo is never coming back. That's a rough one. Ammo is sort of coming back, but not as fast as I would like it. I think a lot of the people who were stockpiling at the beginning of the whole pandemic are starting to realize, like, hey, I have all this ammo and I don't shoot. What am I going to do? And they're just stopping to buy it. Because the other day I paid for some 9mm and it was around the 40 to 50 cent range, which is still ungodly expensive, but it's nowhere near the 65 or 70 cents it was 2 or 3 months ago. So, and yes, it is starting to be more available in Texas, just like Grant said. So, I wish I got an SR25, could never afford it, so I just got the 11.5 SR15. Good thing you did that, man. You could literally change, or you could literally probably trade that for a good 308 gun. But don't do that. Keep your 11.5. That is a good buy. It's okay that you don't have an SR25 because I think the SR25s are more available than the 5.56 guns right now, just because everyone wants a 5.56 Knights gun. So, whatever. But that was a good buy. I love my 11.5. Only thing I wish is I had a 14.5 to go with it, but I'm fine with the 11.5. Neckbeards ran out of money. I actually just got my neckbeard shaved, so I still have money. Oh well. You do have one of those cans. I'm gonna come down there and steal it. How about that? Come down there and grab it. I can't see the run on ammo going anywhere with the Dems writing new gun legislation. So that's a tough one. Because yes, they are writing the legislation, and yes, they do have majority, but at the same time, you have two components there. You have number one, will it actually make it into law, and will it actually be enforced? So I can definitely see something like that come down to state legislation. So I'm not a lawyer. There is a lawyer in here, which he's also an idiot. I'm just kidding. But I don't think that will actually be, translated to us. I really don't think so. So, but my personal opinion is I'm not too worried because obviously, Texas's big slogan is "Come and take it," and I believe in that. And I really don't think that my local law enforcement around here in Texas will abide by that. And I really think that the majority of America would have that same thing. But that's me in, half full. Obviously, the half empty person would be like, they're buying they're going to take all our guns, let's buy everything, and so, whatever. People run out of money. Most Americans don't have $500 on hand. They will run out of money. Unfortunately, that's sadly true. You traded your 14.5 Knights armament. What did you trade for it, and why? Ray, unedited OnlyFans, maybe. It depends on if ammo prices don't go back. So we'll keep that in the cards though, for sure. Yeah, I'm with you, Derek. I don't know what he traded for. I hope it's good. You traded just the upper for an ATEC R. I mean, that's a decent trade, but at the same time, that makes me sad because the 14.5 Knights gun is very, very good shooting gun. I hope you can find one in the future to go with that scope. So, not a bad trade, but I will say that you should definitely get that back. Let's see. Report this lawyer to the bar. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't even know if he's a real lawyer. He printed something out online and taped it to the wall. Whatever. Let's see. Any gun control could only be enacted through executive orders. Next Republican president would just repeal it. I mean, it's all just so exhausting because one person puts in something, the next person takes that away and then puts something new. It's like Trump did with the bump stock deal. Everyone elected him thinking that he was going to be our savior as far as gun rights go, and then he does the whole bump stock deal. The answer here is that the government will not save you. The government doesn't have your best interests at mind. But I will accept, or I will say that watch for yourself, fend for yourself, and take care of your family. Those are the golden rules. Um, yes, he did have literal gold. The 14.5 Knights is probably, I would say, the best selling Knights upper, other than the 11.5. But a lot of people are reluctant on the 11.5 just because they have to either get a SBR or a pistol. Ray says, yes, audio is good. Thank you. A little bit late, but thank you. HB Lifers. What does that mean? HB Lifers. Why did you think it was overrated, Matthew? I might ask. You prefer your BCM? I mean, like I said, the BCM 14.5 really good, but I will say the Mod 2 gas system is really cool. But going back to what I said earlier about my buddy's 14.5 Knights gun that literally came apart in a class, he was screwed. You can't fix a Knight's arm upper unless you have Knight's tools. That was a lemon. I will definitely say that the people at Knights, when we showed them that, they were like, what the heck? Like, I don't know how that happened. But I don't know. I will say that some of the higher tier guns are similar. I wouldn't say as good, but they're similar quality. Let's see. Yes, why have one when you can have two? Obviously, having two is good because God gave you two hands for a reason, right? You choose BCM over CAC? No, I personally wouldn't. But I'm just saying, for those of you who are concerned, BCM are still good, but I would put them on a scale at about a 6 or a 7, and Knights about an 8 or a 9. Special connector to plug in PVS-31 battery to an RNVG. No. In my PVS-31 video, I actually plugged in that battery pack to my RNVG, and I did run it. So it did run just fine. I did not suck off Larry Vickers, but I would if he told me he would give me all of his old Knight stuff. Larry, if you're watching, hit me in the DMs. Best night vision on the market, obviously PVS-31A, which you can get at my friend Underground Ordnance. They're getting some PVS-31As in, but that's a little rich for my blood. You might be a little bit richer than I am, but that is the best night vision in the market, absolutely. Honey Badgers, yes, I actually have mine right here. Honey Badger. Honey Badger owner, yes. Yeah, that is a challenge. Buying it right now. Well, your credit card's a little bit better than mine because that's a hefty purchase right there. He's right, you know. Would you choose BCM over Arrow for a lower? I mean, at this point in time, I probably wouldn't. But if you rewind the time back to like 3 years ago, I probably would pick a BCM over an Arrow. That's just personal preference. Like I said, that tier is very comparable. You'll get a good gun regardless. Oh, yes. Yeah. PVS-31A prices, honestly, I think they're around 13. They're everywhere has the same prices as far as 31As as far as dealers. I think the price is set like 13.7, 14. But that being said, Underground can pull through, whereas a lot of the larger places have to, deal with distribution. So I would go for them. If you're balling out, go to that. But if you're like me and poor, just rock with your Gen 2 Portanis. Ooh, PEC 15 or Maul. So actually, that is another video that I'm working on. And the clear winner is going to be the Maul. So this is probably something that I'll get a lot of hate for because this is a civilian unit, but the Maul is a lot better than the PEC in a lot of ways, which I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about in a video. It's probably going to go live in April, but I do like the Maul, absolutely. For the 10 to 11 price range, I would look into the DT and VSs. They're a good unit for that price range. You can get some pretty good tubes for that. UA may sell cheaper, but the L3 units are in the 13.5. Yeah. So like I said, all the L3 units are going to be about that price range. They're not going to have a lot of flexibility. Did I just con Frenchie to buy nods by talking shit? I love this man. Yeah. Yes. TMBC has them for 10.5 by 2,700. Yeah, so that 2,700 is typically the contract spec 2376 or higher. For example, the video that I just did with the 31As, their FOM was around 2,500, I believe, which is insane. But yeah, the high spec L3 unfilmed are going to be around the 13.5. Cool. So yeah, so Grant actually is with Underground Ordnance, and he can get you hooked up with L3 31As. I run Photonus Echo Fallouts. I don't even know what Photonus Echo Fallouts are. Are those worse than my Echoes? um, yeah. Well, so for example, Derek, what you might be thinking is that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I can get them for a purchase order, or I can get them on a department letterhead," which is basically meaning that the actual police department is buying the unit. They are not personal owned units. They are owned by the department, which means that they get dealer price, or they get police pricing, which is slightly better than civilian. But that being said, unless you are a sheriff or a chief of a police department, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to pay civilian prices. Camera I use for my content. I have two cameras. So this camera that I'm streaming on right now is a Sony A6400, and then the one that I use right here is a Sony A7R3. Traded my CAC 14.5 because I got it pinned and welded, and the guy did such an ugly job. See, so next time when you buy your 14.5, you need to send it to Dave Wilson. He does the best pin and welds in the game. He's insane. It breaks my heart to hear that someone ruined your 14.5 nights with a crappy weld. Sorry, bud. They didn't make the 1800 FOM minimum. They are just commercial fallouts. Oof. I'm sorry, man, because my Photonus, when you compare them to a L3 unfilmed, it's trash. Yes, my friends make fun of me for for my Portonus Echoes. Kami, dude, trying to sell stuff in my chat. Weren't you trying to sell me a freaking machine gun earlier? Isn't this the guy that you need to report? Would have kept it if I'd pinned. So yeah, there are PVS 31s that are going to be green, but the PVS 31A is going to be the unfilmed white. Yeah. Send it to Dave Wilson. So I'm going to pull that up here in a second. My shameless plug because he's insane. Let's see, D. Wilson. So I'm going to try to make my audio not cut out. Okay, so you should be able to hear me, right? Can everyone still hear me? So this is Dave Wilson. So he does pins and welds. He's insane. So he's the best one to go to. He will not ruin your barrel. He will not ruin your gun. And if you're going to pay that much for a 14.5, please just use him. He will save your gun. Let's see. So we're gonna do the live stream for a couple more minutes, and then I gotta go. So yeah. Let's see. It's okay, man. So I started with a PVS 14 that was very clearly not legitimate, but I worked my way up into affording my Photonis duels, which you just work yourself up. So don't worry about it. I won't let Kami ruin my self esteem by calling me poor Tanis. Okay, so you can do it. Let's see. Just a few more questions, and then we'll go ahead and end the live stream. I appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, I do have some cool stuff coming up if the government doesn't come and steal my guns and shoot my dogs. So we'll see. Government, if you're watching this, I have no firearms in this house. Anyways, got to go game. Convincing. Omega 9K. Man, if only I had an Omega 9K to use. Anyways, merch drop. See, I'm sort of working on some merch drop, but I just it's sort of like a low priority. Probably some merch will be dropping in May. I'm gonna be pushing that more towards the summer. So. Yeah, Steve, if you just want to send me an email or find me on Instagram, you can hit me on Instagram. That'd be the best way. I know, Grant, I was being a smartass. I do have the Omega 9K. But anyways, all right, guys. I'm signing off, everyone. I appreciate you tuning in. Catch me on next Friday, not this Friday. But I appreciate you all tuning in, and stay safe out there. Catch you guys later.